What's up guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to install Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10 in VMWARE Workstation. Now I'm using, as of today, VMWARE Workstation 12, so let's get right into it. The things you're going to need for this is of course VMWARE Workstation, and you're also going to need either a physical CD copy of whatever Windows you want to install. So if you have a physical CD, you can go ahead and put it in your CD drive now. That would be helpful. Or if you have an ISO image somewhere on your computer, we can also use that. So let's get started. So we're going to go to the home page here and we're going to hit create new virtual machine. Go ahead and choose typical and hit next, and now it's going to ask us for either the installer disk. So if you have a disk in your disk drive, you can go ahead and highlight installer disk and select which DVD drive the disk is in. If you have an installer ISO, you can go and head and click that, which is the option I'm going to be using today, and then I'm going to hit browse. So now I'm going to browse to my ISO images, and I'm going to go to ISOs, I'm going to go to Windows, and today I'm going to install Windows 10 Pro. So let's go ahead and put that in there and hit next. So once you've done any of those, hit next. Now it's asking us to choose which guest operating system we're installing. Sometimes it will automatically detect from the ISO, but if it doesn't, this will be an extra step for you. So I'm going to do Microsoft Windows, and we're going to do Windows 10 64-bit. So we're going to hit next. So this is where you want to save your virtual machine. I'm just going to leave it as the default path, which is in your documents. And I'm just going to leave the default name Windows 10. So hit next. So now it's going to ask us if we want to store the disk image as multiple file or one single file. It's faster if you store it as a multiple file, so I would suggest that. And it also asks us what size we would like to make the virtual hard drive. I'm just going to leave it 30, 60 is a little bit much for this just example. So I'm going to hit 30, but you must make sure you have enough storage for Windows to be installed, which is around 12 to 15 gig. So the lowest I would probably give it is about 20 gig. So leave it as 30. I'm going to leave it as 30, hit next, and this is just an overview. Here you can go ahead and hit customize hardware, where you can change the amount of RAM, some other settings. So say I wanted to give it 4 gig of RAM, it's set by 2 as default. You can go ahead and give it 4 gig or as much as you have. I only have 16 in my computer, so I'm just going to give it 4 for this video. Here we have the processors, the number of cores you can change it to. Here's the CD image if you ever need to change that. Network adapters, USB controllers. You can go ahead and disable these if you need to, but I don't need to do any of this, so I'm just going to close and I'm going to hit finish. So as you can see on the left hand side, we now have the Windows 10 virtual machine. Any other virtual machines you have in here will also show. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to hit power on this virtual machine, and that will start to boot the setup. So here we have the Windows logo. Let's just give this a minute to start up. Okay, and here we are on the Windows 10 setup screen. So now you're going to want to choose your language. This part's pretty self-explanatory. Just do which applies to you. So I'm just going to leave it on English United Kingdom, hit next, and then I'm going to hit install now. So here we are. If you have your product key available, go ahead and put it in, but I don't have it right now, nor do I need it for this video, so I'm not going to choose that just now. If you have an ISO image where it has multiple versions, go ahead and choose. Most people probably won't have this step, but I'm just going to hit Windows 10 Pro. And now we have the licensing agreements. Go ahead and accept those. Next. Here you want to hit custom. And here inside Windows you can see we have the 30 gigabyte virtual hard disk that we made with the virtual machine. So what you're going to want to do is you want to highlight it and hit next. Now, Windows will now install onto the virtual disk. This could take a while, maybe depending on where the ISO image is or how fast your CD drive reads. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the video here and I'm going to come back when it's done a couple reboots and is ready to continue with setting up more. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so here's the screen we have after a couple reboots and loading up. So here you can go ahead and do whatever you want. I'm just going to use express settings for this virtual machine. Go ahead and choose which one applies to you. Most likely you own it. I'm just going to skip this step just now. I'm just going to make a user called test with no password, hit next. I'm not going to use Cortana for this video. And now Windows is going to load some more things. So next thing, we should be on the desktop. So I'll cut the video here and come back when we are on the desktop. Okay, so here we are on the Windows desktop. So we basically have Windows installed now, but there's one more thing we need to do to make Windows work correctly with VMware, and that is install the driver pack that comes with VMware. So to do this, what you need to do is you want to head up to the top left, and you need to go to the menu VM. In this menu we'll see a button that says Install VMware Tools. Go ahead and hit that. Give it a second here, and as you can see a new DVD has been inserted into the virtual machine, VMware Tools. Go ahead and run the setup, hit yes, and this will start to install the tools needed for Windows to work correctly with VMware. So here we want to just hit next. I normally go for typical, so typical, and hit install. This is going to install the tools, graphics drivers, sound drivers, etc, etc. This shouldn't take too long. So there we go. Now hit finish and it will prompt you to restart the virtual machine. So let's go ahead and do that. And when we restart, we should have a full screen Windows 10. So let's let it boot up here. Let it log in. And here we have the Windows 10 desktop again. So Windows 10 is now successfully installed onto the virtual machine. You can go ahead and use it for whatever you want. So if this video helped you, leave a like, subscribe. If you got stuck at any part of this video or you're unsure, just comment. I normally reply fairly quickly and should be able to help you out with this. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.